Hello everyone and welcome back to Cosplay Tea Time. My name is Jen. I'm the host of Cosplay Tea Time, and today we're bringing you a very special topic called disability awareness in the cosplay community. So, but before I dive into this topic, I want you all to get to know a little bit about our tea sippers here, starting with...
Hi, I'm Jay. You can find me on my TikTok, which is MoodyMcSnooty2, or you can find me on Instagram, which is, I believe, MoodyMcSnooty. I think it's also 2. I don't know, I'm getting confused. But yeah, that's me.
And I'm BelladonnaRoseCosplays, your sweet but fun granny of today's episode. Just so I get that out there. I'm granny on the inside, trust me, I'm very old. But you can find me on TikTok and anywhere that you see my link tree that has the list of all my social medias. I also have a You Now account, which is not my link tree, but feel free to check that one out. Yeah, if you have a You Now account.
And I have to go search that. So, yes, so thank you all for joining and attending today's podcast recording. So, I did want to let watchers and fans know out there the information discussed during this podcast will be a little bit sensitive at times. We're covering a very heavy topic, one that most people may not want to talk about. Sometimes it gets brought up, you want to talk about it. It might be a conversation near and dear to some folks' heart. So we want to make sure that we're being mindful of our language and wording, taking time to stop and think before we say something. If you need a minute, just hold up a finger and be like, hold on, let me think on that for a second. So totally okay. We got all the time in the world. So I'm totally stoked for this. And also, too, for people watching as well, if you're watching and a subject comes up, you start feeling a bit uncomfortable, be sure to take a break. Just take a moment, hit that pause button, take a deep breath, go for a walk, drink some tea. There you go. Always going to bring back tea. So be sure to, just stop for a moment and, you can continue watching and whatnot. So, and then also too, if you're going to leave comments down below, permitting YouTube lets us, because I know, at least for some of the videos, comments have been turned off, and I'm just turn them back on. We have folks with questions and insight, and we'll see. But, if you have something you want to share or an experience, do be kind to others within the comment section. We're going to be monitoring those. I have a couple people, my little watchful eyes on the YouTube channel, so, but be sure to share your story and experience. We definitely would love to hear those. And not only that, we have an Instagram page, Cosplay Tea Time, where you can send us questions. We have one of those fancy little story highlights that you can just go search for the Q&A and post your question in there. So, be super, super excited. And also follow us while you're there as well. Alrighty, so we're just going to get down into the nitty-gritty of it, and we're going to talk about disability awareness in the cosplay community. But before I ask my tea sippers here thoughts and experiences, I wanted to define a little bit about what disability means and kind of the terms we'll be using in this podcast. So I know most folks probably have their own definition, and that's totally cool. You do you. So to some folks, it could be like a physical disability. People experience a physical disability. So that could be, they might need to use a wheelchair, they might need to use a cane, or they might have other, other physical constraints and need additional services to make sure that they are comfortable. Make sure comfort is top priority. There's also individuals with mental disabilities, intellectual disabilities and whatnot. So these might be people who experience, ADD, ADHD, anxiety, depression, OCD. The list goes on and on. I didn't bring my DSM-5 here, so... But yes, so we're kind of going to be covering, physical, mental, and what to look out for, what to be mindful of whenever, you meet somebody in a physical convention, pandemic willing, or, see someone online who has a disability. We want to raise that awareness so that way people feel welcome and supported in the cosplay community. So that's my spiel. So now we get into the fun parts, which is asking our tea-sippers here just their thoughts and experiences. Again, these are their thoughts and experiences. We want to make sure that they're validated and supported. So, my first question of the evening, or morning, or afternoon, whatever time it is now. What are some challenges within the cosplay community for individuals who have a disability?
I feel like with the cosplay community, I haven't been in it long enough to, like, say anything. But, like, I feel like if you, like, what was the question again, actually?
Oh, it's okay. It's, like, what are some challenges you have seen within the cosplay community?
I'd probably say, like, with, going to conventions, I've only been to one once, but, like, if you have epilepsy or, like, if you're in a wheelchair, I feel like they should have, like, ramps and or, like, warnings to the event that, like, to be, like, this event might have, like, epilepsy, like, trigger warnings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So, when it comes to people who have disabilities in conventions, I just want to point out you're not just going to meet people in conventions and online with a disability. You're going to meet them in person too, even when the cosplayer is not in cosplay. Yeah, and sometimes people with disabilities don't know that they have disabilities, which I'm going to tell you right now, if you notice they have a disability that they don't know about, sometimes pointing it out to them might seem overwhelming. One of my friends did that a couple of times, and I had to warn him not to do that. So, yeah. But I think when it comes to the whole, epilepsy thing, people with physical and mental disabilities, people with autism too, depending on if they want it, they should have certain staff to, help them around the con as well. If they don't have that assistance, and if they do, then maybe have the staff be a little bit of an extra assistance. Because you never know, you might have this woman, she's 50 years old. Excuse me, my speech almost blacked out. And she's been cosplaying for maybe most of her life, maybe 30 years or something. And she got into a car accident and now she can't move her legs and now she's in a wheelchair. And she has a nurse with her to kind of assist her around the con. Well, you have that extra staff person to help because nurses do have to take breaks once in a while to go to the bathroom. They do have to eat. And there's a lot of excitement at conventions, so having that extra set of hands will totally help that out. And I think that should be something that would be beneficial for, disabled cosplayers and stuff. And there are also different, like, levels when it comes to, like, certain disabilities, too. So, it kind of helps and stuff. I'm somebody who has ADHD. Of course, my friends are always there to, help point some stuff out and bring stuff to my attention, which I'm so grateful for. But for people who don't have, a bunch of friends or something like that, they can have some assistance as well.
Makes sense. Yeah, and thank you, Bella, for, being comfortable to share, like, the disability that you have. And you were talking earlier how you've been managing it, so I'm really, really grateful for that. So
yeah, I feel like learning and understanding how to cope with the disability, even if it's just the beginning, it's really important because everybody deals with their own thing. And if we don't try and learn how to deal with it, even if it comes to not a disability in another situation, it's still that big step to help you out in the long run. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree. And then just like a couple mental notes. I lost my pen, but a couple mental notes while y'all were talking was like, like not labeling, like don't label somebody that might have that disability or might not have that disability. I feel like it's kind of rude in my perspective. It's just my perspective,
Yeah.
but I think it's just kind of rude and it's just kind of like, unless you're a licensed doctor or something, then sure, you could do that. But at a con, it just doesn't make any sense. So,
Yeah, like I don't want people to come up to me and say, "Oh, you don't seem like you have ADHD. You seem like you have autism." It's like, yeah, I know people say a lot to me, but please don't say that because I don't want you to tell me what I am. I know the other thing that I am, and then it's just like, just leave it to the doctor. And if the doctor doesn't get it, you know what? Whatever. I don't have to worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, I feel like when people say that, it kind of shows like they have an expectation for what it looks like, but like it could come in different like with a disability, it could be like a minor one, like it couldn't like it'd be less severe, or it could be like more severe.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like a spectrum almost. So you have to be careful, like not to just point it out, this and that. It's just it's how they're managing it. So, but yeah, I'm also thankful to just like social support. That was something I didn't really add on my list of things to talk about, but just having like a group of friends to go with you, and maybe they kind of know like a little bit about your background and stuff. And then even just saying like just having like somebody on staff help out.
Or just like when you go to like a convention, just be like, "Oh, I have this. Do you know any like events that might like not be good for me?"
That's a good idea. Yeah, like doing research.
Yeah.
Kind of see what's out there. There you go. Do your research. Get it going. All right. Well, wonderful. This is a good way to start the conversation. So, and that was kind of my next question too. Was how can cosplayers support cosplayers with a disability?
Like when it comes to like people cosplayers with a disability, I feel like just treat them like a human being and like be respectful and kind. Like be aware of their disability, but don't let that disability define who they are to a point, I feel like.
Yeah. Definitely. And going back to even if they don't know if they have a disability and you can spot it, one, again, still don't say anything, but just hit the outside. Meaning, if they get confused about something easily or they get overwhelmed by, just certain sounds, like if they show and they're like, oh, I don't like that sound stuff, just ask, are you okay? Are you okay? And just say, I'm right here, I'm right here. Just kind of be there with them and stuff. And I kind of want to brush up on something that might also help somebody who's at a con, disability or not in general, in any situation. But I've actually found it helpful is if I get to a con early and I walk around to see where security is going to be, where staff is going to be, in case of an emergency or in case of like a creepy situation or just, I don't know, in case if, I get confused about something and I need directions or I need them to help me see like or be shown like where to go, then I can always know where the nearest person is and where the nearest staff is. And you can even go up and introduce yourself to some of the staff as well and say, hey, I came to this convention. I just want to introduce myself. Hi, I'm this, and I just kind of want you to know who I am in case if something happens or something goes on or something like that. Of course, some of the staff will be like, but it kind of helps in the long run too.
It does, yeah. And a little mini map in your head, where to go, backup plans and stuff.
And even have, I do this, 2 maps, One is like the map where I do the of the whole convention and all the events and stuff, and the other map is the thing where I know where each person of like staff is going to be. So
Makes sense. Works for you. Works for us. So perfect.
Ideas too. If you're going to a con for the first time, you don't know what to do.
Oh yeah. Very overwhelming, I feel like. So
I went to Anime Boston and I was like, what do I do?
oh.
I think I only went to one event that day. I'm like, what do I do?
Oh. Yeah, so it's a lot up there. So you kind of touched on like the physical con setting. I kind of wanted to touch a little bit like on social media. I know there's been a couple posts being shared around, just like, sometimes I'll see like, amazing cosplayers, maybe with canes or, in a wheelchair. And the thing is, though, they make the cosplay work around all that. And I'm just so astonished. I'm like, wow, they took the time, the energy, the resources, and they're doing a fantastic job playing that cosplay, whether I know the character or not. But I'm just like, they look absolutely amazing and stunning. So, so exactly. So it's like, just taking a moment to like share that on your story, be like, oh, check out this person, look at how great they're doing, I love their interpretation of such and such character from such and such show, leaving them a comment, a like, a follow, just like saying something, you don't really have to talk about the disability per se, but you could just be like, I love, what you've done, I appreciate all the time it took to do all that, you look absolutely incredible. Or as Bella says, slay. So, have those as well. So what are some things to consider when meeting, talking, or seeing individuals with a disability at a live convention or online?
I feel like when it comes to like talking with someone, I feel like it's like talking to someone that's like in the LGBTQ community. It's like you don't want to out them, like have them like tell about themselves at their time.
Maybe
and
get
it's like
to know.
Before, just like, yeah, be nice and like they're also a human being with a soul.
Yeah, like I said earlier, cover the outside would be good.
Yeah.
And just kind of, like you said before, being respectful, being kind, treat them like a person, you want everybody to be treated with fairness. So makes sense.
Yeah. I know when I'm at a convention and somebody meets me, if I don't hear them, then I let them know, oh, I'm sorry I didn't hear that. My hearing is a little bit bad. Which is true, it is. I kind of let them know a little bit about that too. And also when you're dealing with people at a con, also be patient too. Disability or not. I keep saying disability or not, but it's true. But yeah, two people with different disabilities is also definitely a very unique set of a conversation as well. For example, people meet me and I can't hear very well, and then I meet somebody who has mild autism and who can't speak very well. So I always do my best to try and hear them like as well as I can, and I don't really hesitate to ask them to repeat a little bit. Because again, I do let them know that I can't hear very well. Yeah, and just other examples would be, somebody with a temporary physical disability and a lifelong disability, wheelchair lifelong, probably hip problem, temporary. So
makes sense.
I feel like when it comes to the disability, the people have disabilities and meet other people with disabilities, it's also one exciting and two very. It's a thing where we try to find out how to maneuver. and stuff. So it's an interesting, positive, interesting ride. But it's also very exciting. Even if it seems like it's a little bit hard to understand them or this and that, it's definitely a really positive and interesting ride because, again, you're learning. You're learning and you're doing this and that, and it works. So I love that.
It makes sense. And you're in this exciting convention hall with all these animes and arts and people, so of course it's going to be exciting. So, for sure. And be safe as well. And I feel like, too, like, I can't really speak for myself because I haven't been to a physical convention yet. But, if you're even just, like, walking by someone, and you see, like, they have a disability, like, even just saying, like, hey, how's your day going? Or, if you make, like, that eye contact, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you're walking by someone and they make eye contact with you, just giving them, like, a smile, say hi, just be like, oh, hey, like your cosplay, you look amazing, or something like that. Like, again, that goes back to being kind, and
and also if they are having trouble with, getting to a certain place, definitely be there and help them.
Yes.
As well, get to a certain place. I do that a lot. Whenever I'm at a convention, I'm always aware of my surroundings. Also, for people who have a physical disability, I'm trying not to say like a lot. It's very hard, but I try to be very mindful of my surroundings, just for any situation. And even when I'm not at a convention, I'm constantly thinking about how I can communicate to different types of people. How I, just everything when it comes to going to a convention.
You gotta like
a lot to know, but when you get there, you have fun, and then it's not a lot because you're too busy having fun. And then if something does come up, it's easy.
You gotta get all the mental preparation and be like have all your plans and backup plans. So sounds like a lot of energy and work goes into it for sure. So
but at the end of the day, it's really not, because you're just trying to see what's best for you to maneuver a convention. So
or like plan like a relaxing spot. So like if something goes wrong, just be like, okay, I'm too like stressed out for this. I'm gonna go like somewhere else that's relaxing.
Yeah, I know the convention I mostly go to. It's at a university and they have a library. So if you are somebody who gets overwhelmed about sound or something, you can just go to that library and you can pick up a book and pretend to read or something while you just calm yourself down.
Yeah.
You sit there and chill on your phone. Whatever floats your boat. But this is why I say when you get to the convention, you get the convention early. Scout your surroundings, and that way you know every place you go to of any situation.
That, or like if you're traveling to a convention and you like book a hotel. I've never done that, but like if it's nearby, you could probably like go to that convention, and then if it just gets too wild there, like go back to like your hotel room and just like take a break and like rewind a little bit.
Yeah, I like that idea. Just take a moment to pause and be like, all right, I'm gonna recenter. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get my balance, and then go out and see if you want to participate more.
Especially like get food and water.
Yes, hydrate.
Yes.
Usually with water, but the leaf kind is good too. So, yes, very interesting experiences for sure, and a lot of thought process goes into conventions and whatnot. So, with live conventions, I'm just gonna stick with live conventions here for a minute. Because there's several popping up now that the pandemic is dying down. I better knock on wood. Gonna jinx us all.
Don't jinx it.
Oops.
Squirrel.
But hopefully. hopefully when things settle down a little bit more and we start going back to live conventions, what would be some essential considerations for live conventions to have so that way, individuals with a disability awareness, they're coming in their amazing cosplays, they can be more comfortable and have a great time?
I feel like, especially with like small conventions, I feel like I remember I went to Anime Boston and I didn't really see any like epilepsy warnings on that, which was like really concerning to me because I have it. But like, I only went to one, which was fine. But I feel like if they just add that little warning, because I feel like I don't have grand mal seizures, but I feel like there's other people out there that are at risk for that, and that like I feel like that could be like a big like thing for people that do have the grand mal seizures.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be like at a con and then suddenly be like tired and like there's a lot of lights in their face.
Yeah. So some conventions they can't afford to do, T-shirts and stuff. But what they can do is they can do bands, like wristbands that mark or something, like different colors, or even just take a piece of paper, make it into a band on the person, and then write on the band what they have. So that way, if you come up to somebody, and you see that they have epilepsy, or you see that they have, hearing disorder, panic, the thing that they have, then, you're aware of that. And you can also help them if they have, a random panic attack.
Yeah, or like do like a color-coded like bracelet thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like a color-coded lanyard.
You explained that better. Thank you very much.
Yes. I have a rainbow lanyard that like at my work I have a rainbow one and all the kids are like
back on
rainbow.
This podcast.
Oh, I love the lanyard idea, and then you get to keep it.
Yeah.
It'd be so cute. But yeah, I do like the band idea. For some reason, Bella, when you said band or something, I was like a music band, and I was so lost. I was like, it's like that mariachi band that's gonna follow you. No.
Yeah.
Like a mariachi band's gonna follow you around during a convention.
No.
I feel like if it's a lanyard though, I feel I feel like if it's like a lanyard though, I feel like it might be like too noticeable for some people, like, especially like if they're in a cosplay.
Oh.
And it's like, yeah, that might.
But the bands, I mean, if you have like a long sleeve.
Would help. Yeah, the bands would help.
Little bag. Like. You can stick it in a bag or something.
Yeah, and you can even do different colored bands and even on those different colored bands.
Yeah.
Depending on what the color the person likes, or depending on their cosplay. So people with disabilities, they're very specific what they want because
from like the epilepsy warning, just maybe having like a sign, bands or bracelets. Maybe lanyards if you want to get fancy. I don't know if those cost more than bands, like the little bracelets and stuff. Yeah. So, but not only that, another thing to consider, with live conventions is like the use of like ramps, like wheelchair ramps. Maybe ramps help folks get up if they can't get upstairs easily.
And like, I feel like if you like, that tape that like you could put on the floor and it like kind of like glows in the dark a little bit. So if it's a dark place, have that be noticeable. So like they know where the ramps like ends on the sides.
They sell it at Lowe's. You know that.
Lowe's.
Yeah.
Like on. Okay, never mind. My brain swirled.
It's okay, it happens. No worries.
What I was going to say is that you can keep the lights on, and people who have people who have a disability and they're in a wheelchair, they can be called to come in first, and they can in the front row or on the edge of the aisles and stuff, and make the aisles super big.
Yeah.
Or, like, make a row just for them in the front. Have that spot of the room preserved if you're in a very big room. yeah, and it'll be one row in the front, and then their caretaker, if their caretaker is coming to the convention, can sit behind them, or next to them, kind of make those accommodations happen. And if your convention and you haven't thought about this with your pre-registration or with your online registering, definitely have that in your form if they would request an extra help of hands or need an extra help of hands, or would like to, have access to somebody who might be near them at a con that would be an extra set of hands when they need it. It's kind of a 365 of the year situation when you're going to conventions, because when you're in person at conventions, you never know what's gonna happen. You never know.
You really don't, yeah. It's
and
like happens all at once.
You will have something figured out that's prepared. Now, if you're gonna ask me, what do you have in mind? Honestly, I can't think of anything of what I have in mind right now. But all I think about is if you have, for example, if you have an app called Remind, and you have their remind code in your thing, you can simply you can simply text the area that you're in or something. Need assistance on blah blah blah, and it will go to every single one of the staff members' phones or something like that. I don't know. I'm thinking of probably a very complex idea.
Yeah.
We propose it to whatever convention or we can do. So just having like designated texting system.
Or like call beforehand before you go and be like, when's the best time? Do you think I should go?
It's a good idea. Even talking to like other people and be like, hey, have you been to this con? Like when's it busy? When's it most quiet and stuff? So I'm sure different conventions it gets busy and whatnot at different times. So just having like ramps set up, making sure that they're sturdy. Hopefully most conventions can afford a ramp so that way, individuals with disabilities and they're in their cosplay can come onto the stage and show that off. So, because we want to see them and we want to see them on stage having a good time, just like anybody and everybody. We want to have a good time,
especially with like the cosplay masquerade things when they go on stage. Or just have like a stage elevator, because I know they have that at the school I work at. They don't usually use it, but it's there.
So it's just trying to get conventions, maybe just like calling ahead of time, or you said like the pre-registration form, just be like, is there a ramp available? Is there, sturdy, easily accessible staircase, or not staircase, but like a little stair area with like what's that thing called? A guardrail, like a rail or something. Because I know that was like brought up, I think during the meeting too, when we were talking about this, was just like, sometimes, you go and there's stairs, but there's no rail, and maybe you need that rail, if you gotta prop yourself up or hold on to something while you're going up the stairs. But the thing is, though, they're like, sturdy is the key. I forget who said it. I gotta go back and look. But somebody said, like, make sure that it's sturdy, because if it's too loose or wobbly and you put your, your pressure on that, it's gonna collapse. And you don't want that. It's too much paperwork.
If you are also a convention that has a low budget because you can't really afford much, then definitely shoot for trying to do some personal funding on that, or maybe do a virtual event or a virtual charity event that would go to getting ramps for your convention center. If you don't have enough stores, then I'm pretty sure that you could probably rent or see if there are any places that will help with storing it for you. Also, personally, I come from a financially middle class family, so thinking about finance and money and how I'm going to do this and that is on my mind a lot, which is why I'm kind of speaking out about this as well. Seems like I'm not financially middle class because I'm wearing a blue wig, but I've had this blue wig for a while. Don't
It
even
looks
get me
lovely. About like ramps and stuff. I was actually thinking about that too. It's like, there's like people out there that do like amazing like woodwork, or they got like those creative brain cells in them where they can sketch and design and create and all this stuff. So maybe just having a company or somebody out there one day just to put together like a makeshift ramp, that's sturdy enough because you want to test it out and whatnot, but just, and so that way it's like easy to like bend and fold, because I feel like ramps might take up a bit of
Yeah.
space, and maybe that's why conventions are a little hesitant about
Or
them.
like use a ramp that has wheels that could lock into place.
Yeah, like
So that
that.
might be easier for them to move.
Or maybe if you have somebody at the convention that works there or is volunteering there, it is like super strong.
Yeah.
Super strong power.
Yeah.
Old fashioned days when you didn't have ramps.
We need Hazel from Ruby.
There you go. We just need a Hazel at every convention.
Yeah.
We need
Hello?
outside the convention center. Oh man, I was just gonna eat my lunch.
Oh.
Lifting wheelchair people in wheelchairs call.
Oh.
People in
would be-
wheelchairs. Yep, it calls.
Yeah, that would be amazing. But maybe just, throwing ideas out there. Anybody out there want to take them and run with them, go for it. So, so ramps and stairs, railings, and then the other thing too, it's, I guess, a little bit more physical, is just like space constraints. I know maybe like with smaller conventions, like I've seen videos where like, it's like packed like table to table, and you got like this itty bitty little space you got to go through. And then there's other conventions where it's like all the space in the world, like big giant open ways, and it's like, how does this work? Like,
Well, just make it like a road, okay? And then have them have a stick with the light on it. And if they're gonna go into a room or something, it's like they're driving on a road, except they're walking.
Yeah, like one way goes that way, then one goes that way.
And then they go weep, weep, and then those, if you have a big crowd that's coming, they can stop and go through. I would drive my car.
Yeah, so make sure, give them plenty of space, within the convention hall. Maybe if you're standing, talking with somebody in the middle of that space, like, there's like panel tables or art tables and stuff, and you're standing in the middle of that and you see somebody coming with like a cane or a wheelchair, like maybe a physical disability, or like a large group of people or something, like maybe just kind of step out of the way, be like, oh, like let's go over here where there's more room, or try not to block the pretty art tables as well. So make sure plenty of room, everybody feels comfortable and safe. So the couple more. Oh, go ahead.
Someone with like a I forget what it's called, but like someone who's blind and has that, like, I think it's a cane or like a walker, maybe. Make room for that.
Yes.
Or like put tape in the middle of the hallway. And then so like one person goes that way and then that way.
Oh, like little arrows and the.
Yeah.
Oh, smart. Yes,
especially like because of COVID still being a thing, that might help too.
Yeah, I agree. That was like super helpful. Like not at conventions, but at grocery stores and other places. Like go this way, go that way. So
yeah, they did that for my school. It helped a little bit.
Awesome. So just take it all into consideration. So another question is, how can cosplayers spread awareness about other cosplayers with disability, maybe being more comfortable with sharing their disability, that sort of thing?
I feel like, especially with like conventions, if they have like someone with a disability helping them plan out the convention and like the design of it, I feel like that would help. And then, like, you know how they come up with those, like, little, like, newspapers, kind of? I know Anime Boston came with one, and it, like, had, like, a map, or, like, it was, like, a little book, kind of.
Oh, like a
if they just
pamphlet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, if they had, like, all the people that helped them, and, like, just gave a shout out, like, to the people that helped them.
Like that.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. And that seems like a really good idea. And I would like to point out, if people are uncomfortable with you saying, oh, this person has this, and spreading it around, don't spread it around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People you meet at the convention. Maybe just see if they're okay with if you tell the staff. If they aren't comfortable with saying it themselves, but it needs to be known to the staff. Definitely, just aim towards the staff for now, and in case anything occurs.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like you should ask the person first for, like, consent to, like, tell other people.
Say that.
I'm talking about after the math when you've asked the person. I should have mentioned that. Whoops, didn't.
It's okay. That's why we're here.
I need to be more clear.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely talk about them with it first, maybe before the convention, maybe a couple months before the convention. If they change their mind, then they change their mind. But definitely see if it's okay. If they don't feel comfortable with telling anybody, then you yourself can at least tell the staff, or if you can help them, tell the staff as well. Because as long as just the staff knows, I feel like you're going to be fine. And even if you tell a bunch of people as well and they are comfortable with it, then that's kind of a greater thing to where if the staff isn't around and somebody witnessed, for example, if somebody had a seizure due to their epilepsy, they would run to the other place and get the staff while kind of in a non-panic mode, because if somebody has a seizure,
remain calm.
If somebody has an episode of some sort, remain calm. Even if you don't know what to do, remain calm. Find somebody who can help and alert the staff as well, so that way they are aware. Because when you go to a convention, they also have a liability on them, and they also have a liability on you. So a convention should really try to keep their con as safe as possible. And if something does happen that it wasn't aware that it would happen, then they can take the steps to make sure that you're okay, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, or like, if it does happen, just be like, walk around and ask, like, anyone nearby, like, if they know what to do, if you don't. And then, if there is someone, like, have them watch over that person, and then go get, like, a security person.
I feel like if somebody's having a seizure, though, you definitely shouldn't panic.
Yeah.
But you should run and see where there are other people.
Yeah.
So I personally have learned with someone who has, they really fake their epilepsy, but it kind of taught me how to deal with people who have epilepsy. If somebody's having an epilepsy attack and you're the only one with them, do not leave them. If there's somebody around you, have them help you. And if they're not going to run to the other room, or they can't run to the other room, make sure they stay by that person while you go and run to the other room. When you run to the space where you can find the staff. And if it makes it any easier, this is where I kind of put in place, maybe have a remind app where you can shoot out an emergency message to every single one of the people in the staff, including security, in case someone have an epilepsy attack, a very serious panic attack where they cannot breathe, medical assistance, and you should tell them where you are. And even if you don't know where you are, if you're logged into that, then they should probably have a map pinned to where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also make it available for other people in the convention who aren't staff. In case if there is an emergency, there will be a red dot of what's happening in that area, information on probably what's going on in that area, and so on and so forth. So yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. So thank you for describing that in detail for sure. So what my takeaway from that was, first, when you see somebody, asking them for help, getting their consent, just be like, hey, can I help you? Is there someone around that can help? And then kind of taking the steps from there that Bella was describing. And the other thing too, if you're with someone or you know someone and they have a disability or think they might have a disability, don't just blurt it out to other people. Be like, oh, well, they're this and that, like the whole labeling thing. You want to respect people's privacy. That's for them to tell if they want to share that. That's their information. So, so make sure that, you're being respectful again and just keeping that information quiet. So, alrighty. Kind of.
This personally, put down in the comments, or you can find me on one of my socials and just let me know. Also correct me on some stuff I might be wrong with too, which I'm fine with if you correct me because I like learning about stuff. So
yeah, same here.
Definitely.
Yeah, and any resources people want to share their stories and experiences. Definitely want to make this a safe place for people to do that as well. So be sure to drop them down in the comments below if YouTube cooperates. And we have comments. That'd be nice, YouTube. Give me that back. So we'll see. Alrighty. So
we are actually a safe place as well.
Yes,
so
we are.
Don't worry about anything. And if you are worried about something, that's okay. You don't have to express it.
Yes. So we just appreciate everybody taking the time to listen to us talk about this topic. Because again, not a very easy topic to talk about. There's a lot of things to delve into, but hopefully something stood out. Be sure to share that. Maybe you have ideas and insight, or might know somebody who could create that ramp. That'd be amazing. So, but just know that at the end of the day, cosplayers are people too. So, whether have a disability or not, going to a convention, we want people to feel safe and welcomed. We want them to feel supported within the cosplay community. So whether it's in cosplay live or, online, but I want to make sure taking that as well. So, because, we all like the same. Well, I shouldn't say we all like the same. Not everybody likes Ruby Gen. But, we all have similar taste in anime and shows, fandoms, cosplays. We all took the time to get ready and go there. So, again, just being kind, being respectful, just be there. And be there to support them. So, alrighty.
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Salt
and
pepper.
Nice. Alrighty, so that's about it for my questions. As always, I'm going to start with Moody and then Bella. Did you all have questions about this particular topic? Anything stand out?
No, not really. I'm good.
Okay, awesome. Bella?
Hold on, I'm trying to see if there's anything that I... Kind of not really, other than just be respectful and just be super positive to a lot of people, because You know, I feel like as a cosplayer, it's important to make people feel comfortable and safe, and like nothing's gonna happen to them. And to actually be their aid or something. So
Yeah. I want to make sure everybody's safe and having fun. So gotta make sure we also gotta get the word out there a little bit. So
fun.
Yes. Alrighty. So just a little something different. Been getting like these little tea bag quotes. I get like the lavender tea and there's like little tea bag quotes. So I thought I'd share this one with you all. So it says, "Let your energy be used to build, not destroy." So just kind of making sure we're building each other up, we're building the cosplay community, making it a safe and engaging place for everybody. So that about wraps it up. Thank you everyone so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. Again, share any stories, thoughts, experiences down below. Hopefully, if not, you can catch us on Instagram, cosplay_t_time. Look for the little mouse in a little teacup surrounded by books and flowers. And just, hit us up on there. I mean, hopefully messages are working. Gosh, technology is wonderful. But yeah, just let us know how it was. So, as always, we'll see you in the next recording and keep sipping away. So, bye!